Welcome back to Nisab Finance. If saving money has ever felt like restriction, Islam gives you a better word: stewardship. In Islam, wealth is not absolute ownership. It is an amana, a trust. The Quran describes believers as trustees over what Allah placed in their hands, which means money is not just for spending, and it is not just for piling up. It is for responsibility. That changes the whole question. It is not, how do I keep more for myself? It is, how do I use what Allah gave me wisely? The Quran points us to a middle path, neither wasteful nor stingy, but balanced. Not extravagance, not miserliness. Balance is where saving begins. Start with intention. Before you build a budget, decide what your money is for: bills, family, future, giving, and peace of mind. When money has a mission, it feels less chaotic. Then separate needs from wants. Food, shelter, transportation, and obligations come first. The extras come later. Classical scholars distinguish between tabdhir, reckless squandering, and israf, excess even in halal things. That gives every Muslim a practical filter. Cut haram spending first, then trim unnecessary halal extras. You do not need every upgrade, every trend, or every impulse. A quiet no can protect a lot of barakah. Track where your money actually goes, not where you hope it goes. Use a notebook, an app, or a spreadsheet, but keep it simple enough to keep using. The Quran's longest verse in Surah Al-Baqarah is about documenting debt. That should tell us something. Islam treats money seriously, so clear records matter. Build a budget you can sustain. A strong budget is not punishment, it is protection. Give every dollar a job. Small amounts matter when they are consistent. $10 saved every week becomes a habit. A habit becomes momentum. Momentum becomes resilience. One practical method is to automate the first transfer, even if it is small. Pay yourself after the essentials, not before your responsibilities. A weekly transfer of $25 or $50 can grow quietly, especially when you treat it like a bill to your future self. If cash tends to disappear, separate your savings from everyday spending so the money is not constantly in reach. Simple systems work because they remove decision fatigue. And when you are paying down debt, direct the first extra dollars toward the highest rate balance. That is where pressure lives. If your budget keeps breaking, look for leaks before you blame yourself. Subscriptions you forgot, food waste, duplicate purchases, late fees, convenient spending that slowly becomes normal. Islam teaches moderation, but moderation only works when you notice where excess hides. The goal is not perfection, the goal is control. Now for the biggest guardrail: halal income. Saving money starts before the budget. It starts with what you earn. The Quran says not to consume one another's wealth unjustly, but to earn through fair trade and mutual consent. In plain language, your income should be clean, transparent, and ethical. If the money entering your life is compromised, the rest of the system becomes harder to bless. That is why riba, or interest, matters so much. The Quran permits trade and forbids riba. It draws a bright line between productive exchange and financial exploitation. In real life, interest-based debt can quietly eat your future. Credit cards, payday loans, and revolving balances can turn a small problem into a long one. The Prophet, peace be upon him, even made dua seeking refuge from being overwhelmed by debt. That should change how we see borrowing. Debt is serious. It can drain sleep, focus, and dignity. If you already owe money, write the plan down. List the balance, list the rate, list the payment date. The Quran teaches us to document debts, and that principle still works today. No vague promises, no emotional guesswork, just a clear path forward. If you can avoid new debt, do it. If you cannot, make it temporary, intentional, and as small as possible. Now build your emergency fund. This is not greed. This is stewardship. A safety net helps you handle a car repair, a medical bill, a broken appliance, or a sudden job loss without panic. In one recent U.S. report, 63% of adults could cover a $400 emergency with cash or its equivalent, while 12% could not pay it by any means. That is why even a small fund matters. $100 is better than zero. $500 is better than 100. 1 month of expenses is better than 500. Start where you are. Islam supports that mindset too. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that leaving your heirs well off is better than leaving them poor and begging. Saving for your family is not selfish. It is merciful. It is responsible. It is a way of thinking beyond the present moment. And yes, give charity while you save. Do not wait until you feel rich enough. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described the best charity as giving while you are healthy, attached to your money, afraid of poverty and hoping to be wealthy. In other words, real generosity happens before it is easy, not someday, now. This is where many people misunderstand Islamic finance. They think the choice is either save money or give money, but Islam says both. Save with intention, give with sincerity. The money you keep should help you stand. The money you give should help someone else stand. Think about the emotional side too. Many people spend to relieve stress, then feel more stress later. Islam interrupts that cycle by asking for awareness before action. Pause before the purchase. Ask whether it is a need, a want, or a distraction. That single pause can save more money than any complicated strategy. If you have savings in a conventional account, keep your approach practical and faith first. Look for non-interest options when you can. If unavoidable interest appears, many scholars discuss disposing of it by giving it away without intending reward, as a way of purifying impermissible gain. The bigger lesson is simple. Keep your money aligned with your values. And remember, halal financial options are growing. Sharia-compliant finance is no longer invisible, and alternatives continue to expand. You are not trapped. You may need creativity. You may need patience. But you are not without options. The goal is not to chase every dollar. The goal is to guard your barakah. So bring it together. Saving money according to Islamic principles means seeing wealth as a trust. It means spending neither wastefully nor stingily. It means cutting excess, tracking your money, earning ethically, avoiding riba, building an emergency fund, and giving consistently. It means choosing discipline over impulse and purpose over pressure. Most of all, it means believing that money should serve your deen, not compete with it. You do not need a perfect financial life to start. You need a clear intention, a simple plan, and steady action. Track 1 week of spending. Cancel 1 wasteful expense. Move 1 amount into savings. Give 1 act of charity. Pay down 1 debt with a written plan. Progress is built quietly. If you do these things, Allah willing, your money becomes calmer, your heart becomes calmer, and your home becomes calmer. And if you keep going, saving stops feeling like fear. It starts feeling like freedom. Freedom from panic, freedom from waste, freedom from interest, freedom to provide, to give, and to live with peace. That is the goal. Not hoarding, stewardship, not scarcity, balance, not stress, barakah. Welcome to a better way of handling money. Subscribe to Nisab Finance for more practical halal money habits.